Hello there. Welcome to this video on how to calculate the slope of a line when the graph is given to us. Now, what our plan of attack is for the way we're going to look at it here is we're going to carefully inspect the line, find 2 points where the line crosses right on a grid so that it makes it easier to work with, and then run the coordinates of those 2 points that we find through the slope formula. M is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And a lot of times we talk about that in terms of rise over run. Now, inspecting this line from left to right, we see that there are several places where the graph just crosses part of the way through the grid, but right at this point here, it's crossing where the grids crisscross. And then as we keep going along the line, we see another point here. So those are points where the coordinates are integers. Now we want to write down what the coordinates are. So from the origin, I have to go left 1 and up 3 to get to this first point. So we're going to write that as left 1, so -1, comma, up 3, positive 3. And for the second point that we designated, from the origin, we need to go right 4 and down 1. So positive 4, comma, -1 for those coordinates. Now remember, each ordered pair is x comma y, so we can kind of just keep track of the work that we have. And then the first point, I'm going to have subscripts of 1s on the x and the y. And for the second point, again, it's x comma y, and we are going to have sub 2s. And that just helps us keep track of the values as we run it through the slope formula. So our slope is, so for our y sub 2, we find y sub 2, and that's under the number -1. So that's -1 minus, for y sub 1, we look, and here's my y sub 1, so that value is 3, over then x sub 2, look for x sub 2, that is here, that value is 4, minus, and then x sub 1, that value is there, that value is -1. And I have to be really careful about my signs, so I always like to put the minus from the formula down first and then go find the coordinate and plug it in. So now to simplify my slope, I've got a minus and negative, so that becomes a plus. So I have -1 minus 3 in the numerator, that's -4 in the numerator, and 4 plus 1 in the denominator, which is 5 in the denominator. So that gives me a slope of -4/5. Now remember, I spoke of that as rise over run, and we can just double check that we did this correctly by remembering that that means from one point on the line to another point on the line, I will go down 4, because -4 rise means down 4, and right 5. The run that's positive is to the right. So if I started at this point, this point, I would go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and right 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I would get to that other point on the line, which again, counting that would be another way to find our slope. So here we have the slope of this line is -4/5.